a torrential downpour. The clouds have cleared and we're ready to play at Patriots Point. It's the first game of the weekend in the USL Championship. Tonight on ESPN Plus, it's the Charleston Battery taking on the Indy 11. Joined by a USL Championship legend in Corey Herzog, Mike Watts on hand as well. The Battery lead the way in the Eastern Conference. 4-point lead means they'll be top of the standings at the end of the weekend as well. Well, for Indy, a chance to make a real dent, get up to 5th with a win, but they sit right now right on the bubble in 8th place. Well, this Charleston team starting to hold clean sheets, and a big reason for that is the impressive play of Player of the Week, Trey Muse.
Yeah, and Trey's playing with a lot of confidence right now, and when your keeper's playing with a lot of confidence and getting a lot of shutouts, they're going to win a lot of games.
Already more wins this season than all of last year for the Battery. Trey Muse, a big reason why on the defensive end. But on the offensive end, Augie Williams has been revelatory this year.
Yeah, and Augie's scoring goals in the box, and that's what Charleston is really getting good at, is giving him the ball in the box, getting him those chances, and when he has chances, he's going to score goals.
7 goals already this season in just under 1,000 minutes. He knocked Indy around last year. First player in half a decade for the Battery with a double-digit goal-scoring season. Meanwhile, for Indy, possession is going to be the tip of the sword. You get it right, you've got a chance tonight. You get it wrong, it could get ugly.
Yeah, and Indy's very good at keeping the ball, getting your passes going, and keeping the ball, and just now what are you going to do with it? Get dangerous in the final third and hopefully get some chances that they can finish.
A hallmark of a Mark Lowry side. Can they turn it into goals tonight? Patriots Point should be sold out in Mount Pleasant this evening. Come kick off the weekend in the championship with us. It is the Battery hosting Indy 11. Lineups and kickoff when we return.
The estimated haul time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
You hear all the time about Diamonds Direct's prices and selection and warranties. All true, and all good reasons to give us a visit. But what really sets Diamonds Direct apart is something that's hard to put into words. But you will feel it. You'll know it from the minute you walk in. It's our unique culture, our passion, our genuine and absolute desire to totally revolutionize the way you experience jewelry shopping. It's why we do what we do. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This is your vacation, your beach, your fields of green, skies of blue, mountains of majesty. You're an athlete. You're obsessed. You're in love. You're in pain. Spirit drained, in agony, fighting gravity. Because you made a commitment to yourself and others to work on your game, build your frame in blazing heat, exhausted and beat. Because when you refuse to yield, your spirit is revealed. You are an athlete. MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
What a night in Charleston, South Carolina, one of those scenic spots in the United States.
Year over year, the improvements for this Charleston Battery team have been terrific. They've been winning games dramatically late. They've been winning them in convincing fashion.
They've really turned it around. The leaders of the East are the Charleston Battery.
Ready to roll tonight. It is Patriots Point in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. The USL Championship opens their weekend here with the Battery and Indy 11. All right, Mike and Corey, let's take a look at the starting lineups. They are brought to you by Bud Light. It is a 4-4-2 diamond for Ben Pierman.
Yeah, and you got Williams up top, who's really hot right now, scoring goals and getting chances, and that's what Charleston will need from Williams tonight.
Battery unchanged from last time out. Meanwhile, for Indy 11, one change they had to make it. Yunus Boudadi, a major piece for them, out with a left shoulder injury, so it's Mishak Jerome who gets the start and a change in formation to go with it.
Yeah, Boudadi being out is a huge loss for Indy. He's one of my favorite right-back players in the league, and now you can see he's changing up the formation, moving some players around. It'll be interesting to see how they do tonight.
So Mark Lowry hoping that group, as assembled, will be able to come up with a big result here. Today's Keys to the Game brought to you by Gildan, leader in high-quality, comfortable apparel basics, located right here in the Low Country. For the Battery, get off to a good start with that fully charged battery.
Yeah, and Charleston wants to get on Indy early. Try to get a goal early, get them on their heels, and see what they can do away from home.
And meanwhile, for Indy, hey, the storm passed, but for them, it's only just begun.
Yeah, Charleston's feeling good right now, and Indy just needs to get through that first 15, 20 minutes of where you know Charleston's going to come at you with all they got.
Two-time league MVP Solomon Asante is over the ball. Sergei Demianchuk is the referee for this occasion. And we're about ready to roll. Let's start the weekend in the championship. It is Indy 11 in red taking on the Charleston Battery in yellow and black. We're underway in Mount Pleasant. Maybe something early here, a penalty! Inside 15 seconds, won by Guenzati. And a red card! Leland Archer's been sent off! And that might be the singular most shocking start to a game I've ever seen in this league.
Wow, you can just see he pulls him back, but it's a harsh red card 15 seconds into the game. He does pull him. He is the last defender, but wow. We'll see how Charleston responds to this and how Trey Muse is going to look up to whoever's taking this penalty.
Corey, you played a lot of games. I'm sure this is completely uncharted territory.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in part of a game where, let alone get a chance. Well, there has been goals in the first 10 seconds, but a red card in the first 15 seconds? Never, never.
Wow. So it's Aiden Quinn who steps forward to take it. He's on 49 league assists. He's on 46 league goals. Trey Muse, player of the week in the league last week. How does he start here on this Friday night? Quinn steps up. Quinn scores. Buries it beautifully, and Indy 11 up a man and up a goal in 90 seconds in Charleston.
It's a great PK taken by a veteran player in Quinn to lead his team to a 1-0 early 2 minutes into the game. And what we were saying is they needed to, we were wrong storm coming. We were expecting Charleston to bring it, and now Indy's come up. Great touch. It is a red card if you're there, and a great veteran finish from Quinn 2 minutes into the game.
Unreal. And Indy 11, who had struggled to find scoring, will have every opportunity tonight. A center back sent off for Charleston, and a pump of the fist from Mark Lowry. Aiden Quinn, 2 minutes in, opens the scoring for Indy 11. So, Corey, you spend all week getting ready for a game. And now if you're Ben Pierman in Charleston, how much of your plan do you scrap, and how much do you go, okay, let's try and calm the waters and get after it?
Yeah, you're trying to be calm right now, but he's trying to figure out what he can do. He just hopes his players can adapt in the next 5 minutes, and they just need to adapt as a team to figure out what they can do.
Asante off the header from Guenzati was offside. You know, Corey, what's amazing, you talk to different coaches in this league, and they'll say, Ben Pierman said it too, the roster at Indy is great. Ben gave a lot of credit. There's the head coach for the Battery in his first season. It just hasn't all come together, and the possession's been good. You see elements, Mark Lowry there, what he installed in El Paso to great success, and has brought to Indy. It just hasn't all come together. You get a win today, all of a sudden this feels a lot different.
Yeah, 100%. I've been part of teams where you bring in a lot of players, you're expecting a lot from a lot of players, and honestly, you need that one game that just goes your way, just like the first 2 minutes I've done here. That creates relationships, that creates confidence within the players, and that's what maybe we'll get tonight from them.
Williams being pulled down by Jesus Vasquez. Never a dull moment in this league. I'm sure I'll find out from league encyclopedia Nicholas Murray if that's the earliest red card in league history.
Has to be.
15 seconds.
Has to be by a lot.
Quinn lobs up for Guenzati, the talismanic goal scorer acquired from Tampa Bay over the offseason, who commits a foul. Brought down Derek Dodson. Hair's at an all-time high for Sebastian Guinzotti. That's Robbie Crawford to put it in play.
As a player and as a team, when you go away and you get an early red card, I would want to press as much as possible. Get them on their back heels. Get them underneath a lot of pressure and just make them kick it long. You don't want them to build a little bit of confidence with this possession and that. If I was Indy, I would be pressing, getting on them, forcing it long.
Well, there's Muse driving it out to the halfway line. And for Charleston, you've suddenly got this paradox. Not only did Indy change formation into a 3-back with Boudadi's absence, but now you're down a man as well. So I imagine tactically it's going to be a really awkward couple of minutes for them just sort of figuring everything out.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what they're going to do in the next 5 minutes. And like we said before, for Indy to weather the storm, right now Charleston needs to weather the storm, because if I was Indy, like I said, with pressing, even with having the ball, just keeping the ball and attacking as much as possible in the next 5-10 minutes, get them off their sticks.
Quinn driving for Douglas Martinez. Sent the early cross, took a deflection, and a corner for Indy 11. Quite the crowd around Trey Muse here. Archer, one of the better set-piece headers in the air that Charleston has. All floated out of play. Got the right contact from Quinn. Surprised at all how high Indy's playing the goal kick?
Not now. Maybe if it was 11v11, what their game plan was, but I think their game plan now changes where they need to press, they need to get the ball back, because this is where you're going to get Charleston tired with the ball. You're going to have them run around, try to keep them up as a man up.
Well, cards have come fast and furious here. That's Vasquez put in the book, his 3rd card in 12 games this year. Aggressive.
Very, very aggressive. Very lucky maybe to get out of there with the yellow with that early red card.
Yellow card brought to you by Spink's Convenience Stores, located across South Carolina. So Williams pays the price. Interesting, they allowed that to play out and didn't bring it back for a free kick, rather just a throw. Return from Williams. Crawford. Williams chips across in. That's chested down by Blake. Yannick Odell pulls it in. Oh, Odell, not his best distribution. Forward from Polvara.
And you want to see Indy be a little smarter with the ball there. They're giving the ball to Charleston at an easy opportunity for them not to wear them down, keep the ball for long periods of times where they can tire them out early in this game.
Barajas, that was deflected. Wynn was asking for a foul. Quinn. Arturo Rodriguez angles this over the line. So Charleston was contemplating how to move forward, and they are going to make a change here. They're going to bring Palma on, so get another center back into the game. And you have to feel for Arturo Rodriguez. Polvara goes to check on him. A sub that is entirely outside the range of possibility for Arturo when this game starts, but one that now has to be made.
Yeah, and it's tough for him, but he's going to understand that coming in with a red card in the 15th second. It's tough for him right now, but he'll understand, and hopefully the coach pulls him aside and explains everything to him.
You know, I heard you say it, it still doesn't sound right. The 15th second. Martinez kept that in. Martinez getting Declan Wynn. That's the second time Wynn's been wiped out. Martinez plays with a little bit of bite, and he always plays up and down this near touchline.
Yeah, playing with him in San Diego, he loves being on the right side, getting the ball at his feet, running at players, getting crosses in, but you have to question Indy right now, being very aggressive with that red card in the 15th second. You don't want to do that too early with the ref trying to even stuff out, maybe.
Williams barking back, another whistle. This has been just a really topsy-turvy game. It's just never found a rhythm.
Yeah, it's tough to find a rhythm with a 15-second red card.
True. Lindley. Jerome. Regular in the Haitian national team historically. Aiden Quinn found Martinez streaking in. Martinez turned away by Muse. Coming off a 10-save game, a franchise record. A corner.
And what a ball by Quinn here. Great touch by Martinez and a great save from Muse. Great all-around play from both teams there. And you can see what a save that is.
And that was Martinez, again, coming off that right-hand side.
He loves making those runs in behind. And when you have a player like Quinn who can put a ball wherever you want it, if they time that perfect, there could be a lot of goals tonight.
Lindley crossing. That is a blast, but a foul. Guinzotti. Whatever Aiden Quinn did not do right on the previous recycled service, he did right there. But Muse in position, and the foul won by A.J. Patterson.
And you can see that's coming straight off the training pitch right there. Guinzotti's supposed to set a pick, but I think that's more of a basketball pick there. Gets called for the foul, but what a strike by Quinn if he can not get that foul there. But again, Trey was there, made a good save.
And so Muse goes to work for Charleston. Header flicked over top of Williams. And bypassing here for Blake, who's in an unfamiliar position this season, but not an unfamiliar position in his career. He got it forward for Martinez. Guinzotti making the run. He got tangled up.
If Martinez picks up his head there, sees Guinzotti in the box all by himself, not sure what happened. Could be easily 2-0 real quick here with Indy.
That's a beautiful switch. Dodson gets forward. Dodson laying that across for Crawford. I don't know which side of the corner flag that went out on. They're gesturing for a corner.
And just like we saw down there with Martinez, if Dodson can pick up his head and see Augie Williams alone on the back post, he's standing there. Could be 1-1, 15 minutes in.
I think they got this right. Fidel Barajas, 17-year-old Sacramento native who's performed so well with the Mexican national team, the youth levels in CONCACAF competition. With the sun just beginning to peek out, Barajas corner, all the way across. Patterson went leaping for it. Still work to be done. Martinez able to keep it away from Allen. clanks off of Palma. Turned over by Indy. That's a pass without much of a plan. Crawford. Allen slips that through for Barajas, who angles in the cross, seeking Williams. Well, when you start at half field, that's not such a tough climb for Charleston to get forward like that.
Yeah, and Indy needs to take care of the ball. We've seen a couple instances here where they're just turning the ball over in the wrong areas, giving Charleston a little bit of life and confidence, which you don't want to give them with the player down.
Well, across by Wynn. You know, at its best, a Lowry coach team, El Paso and Indy, it's this beautiful orchestration, and there's that line that you run between being risky and being creative with the ball when you do pass. At its worst, it can lead to a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, when it's at its best, it's beautiful to watch, and then when you have that one turnover, it could go back and be in the back of your net real quick.
Sent long. Flag is up, gives us a chance to take a look at today's injury report. It's presented by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. Still no Henwala Buana, the knee injury suffered earlier this year, and that is a lengthy list of guys who would largely be starting here. Dambrot, Rebellon, Budati, all playing huge roles in the team this year. Blake, head on a swivel, sees Martinez. Quinn, Lindley, back from Reese.
And a couple times Martinez gets the balls in dangerous areas and his first thought is cross. Maybe one or two of these times he needs to run at the defender, get him on his heels, maybe beat him 1v1 and then get the cross in.
There's the ball out to Martinez. Slipped it forward for Blake, got it back, sent the service that bounds into Muse. Allen circulates back here for Charleston. 2 wins in a row for the Battery. They get a result today. A win or a draw, they'll have as many points or more than they had all of last season. This is a complete rebuild job done by Lee Cohen and Ben Pierman over the offseason, and a great effect. Meanwhile, Indy's longest tenured player is an 18-year-old who signed an academy deal 2 years ago.
Yeah, and you can see last year Charleston had some of the pieces, but they didn't have the full puzzle. And with them bringing them in this year, has been able to blossom Williams in the box and scoring goals and confidence all around the team.
Martinez shrugged off Barajas. Asante drops back. Asante through for Guinzotti. Slipped on a moist field surface.
And that's one relationship that hasn't maybe connected this year with Asante and Guinzotti and their runs. You can see him coming to feet there. Asante's trying to play it in behind. So hopefully one of these games that, like tonight, Indy could win, could build those relationships, build those confidence, and turn the season around for him.
Guinzotti obviously quite prolific during his time in Tampa Bay. You were obviously quite prolific throughout your time in the league. When you're working with players that you aren't familiar with or haven't played with, sometimes it just never happens. But how often maybe does it take 5, 10, 15 games to start to get that in-game feel? I imagine it's more often than not.
Yeah, you definitely want to get, obviously as a coach, you want it to click right away, but sometimes it takes 5 to 10 games, or it could just take one game where he slips the right ball, you make the right run, and then you just click and you get on the same page. So it all depends on how it happens, but tonight could be a good chance for Indy to be able to build those relationships with a red card in the 15th second and just be able to build those relationships and confidence between the attacking players that they need.
Jerome into Dizpe. Lindley hooked that in pretty effectively. Jack Blake.
One of the toughest things as a forward when your team does, I've never seen it that early, with Williams, how is he going to get into the game? How is he going to get his touches on the ball? You don't want him to drop too low because you need that player up top to be able to hold and get runs in behind. But Charleston do need to find him and get him on the ball to get their offense started.
If you're Williams, how much are you willing to say, okay, drop in like this? How much do you need to stay high just to stretch this out?
Yeah, that's a great example. That's a good time to drop in on a deep throw in, get the ball, look where they're at now, and he has time to get up on top of the field. So he just needs to pick those moments where there's a good chance that, like right now, you wouldn't want him to drop in. You want him to stay high on that back line, keep testing the defenders, and it's up to the Charleston midfield and defenders to find him on the ball.
There's Palma.
But that's, as a forward, is where you get frustrated with balls like that because there's no chance Williams would be able to battle the 3 defenders with a ball like that unless it's right to his feet.
Battery Matches, perfect place to make lifelong memories with your friends and family. Group of 10 or more can enjoy discounted tickets, exclusive on-field experiences, and private hospitality areas to catch the match. Visit charlestonbattery.com to learn more and plan a memorable night at Patriots Point. Midway point of the first half, Indy up a man since the first minute. Leland Archer sent off, a penalty awarded on the play. That's quite the tackle. That's Reese drawing the eye of the official, and this is a really intriguing place to get a free kick.
And this is important for Charleston to be able to get these opportunities on goal where it's a free kick. You have the ball in a deep position and you have a chance to get something on goal. You need to take advantage of these if you're Charleston when you're down a man early.
Barajas trots to the other side. He was down there a moment ago. He took a little bit of a knock on the other end, maybe 10 minutes ago. Just got totally upended. Where are your eyes here? So often with a corner, you talk about top of the 6, but
I think you just whip this head height across the goal, see what you can do because it'll be tough for them.
There it is from Barajas, forced away by Odell.
A little too high there, but still a good ball, dangerous, but you need somebody attacking the keeper there.
Allen puts it up. That's cleared as far as Asante. Lost by Lindley. Smashed it framed by Crawford. Covered by Williams. Allen. Barajas still wide. Battery are first place in the Eastern Conference, and by 4 points, we will lead the conference at the end of the weekend no matter what happens the rest of the way. Meanwhile, for Indy, this could be a real paradigm shifter. Could move up to 6th place, just a point away from 5th, and all of a sudden you're one spot out of a home playoff game. With all the struggles at the outset, get results. Curling around the outside, Blake. There's 3 Battery players in close position. Touchdown for a corner for Indy 11. Lindley, Indiana native, 2nd stint with the team. And there's going to be a little chat here. A referee and a pair of players.
Not gonna lie, one of my favorite times to be on the field is a corner kick when you got to stand in front of the keeper, give him a little couple nudges, get in his head a little bit.
Think that's what Dees Pay is doing?
That looks like it. You can see it right now.
Him, Dodson, and Muse are becoming real comfortable. Lindley.
But you can't do that.
Well, the referee walks over and tells you what not to do. He does it anyways, and here's the results.
Yeah, once the referee calls you over, you got to lay off a little bit. But, you get, yeah. Say that's a foul there.
That was not part of the Corey Herzog how to score goals on set pieces guidebook.
Yeah, you got to be a little more secretful with that stuff. Can't make it so obvious.
Yeah, it wasn't very subtle. Williams able to play out win. Swings that back toward Asante. Williams nearly in Dees Pay in position. Quinn. Asante. Polvara. He has been tremendous for Charleston this year. Send long for Williams. He's pay there again.
And if you're Charleston, you don't want to go chasing the ball right now. Let them have it back there. Once they move up the field, and then you can start your press. You don't want to waste your energy a man down at places where they're going to play out 3v1, 4v1. No point of pressing.
Williams will run in here. Right back up the gut. Flip to Martinez. Declan Wynn exacting perhaps a bit of revenge. That's been a really physical matchup on this side. Wynn's been booked.
I think he's getting him back from that earlier challenge, but just times it a little off. Martinez was a little early to the ball, quicker than him, and just mistimes it, takes him out. Used to hate when center backs came through you when you're trying to receive the ball. Always makes you think about later in the games. Next time you get it at your feet, when's he going to come through again? But now that on the other side, he does have a yellow where Martinez now can run at him, be a little bit more confident, try to run at him, get that second yellow, and then be down 2 men.
Yellow card was brought to you by Spink's Convenience Stores, located across South Carolina. Bombed forward with Asante, the eventual target. Asante will toss in. And that's Reese's 4th start of the year at that center back position, now in a 3. Martinez out of room. Half an hour in, obviously the goal comes in the second minute. Goals change games. Indy's had a few set pieces, but they haven't created all that much dangerous with the man advantage.
Yeah, you're expecting Indy to come at them, get a couple more chances other than that Martinez chance early on. It's kind of been the story of their season. Good possession, what they do with the ball. They're good at keeping it in the middle third and their defensive third, but what can they do in the attacking third? And tonight is a good opportunity for them to build, like we said, those relationships and that confidence to change their season around.
Sent forward by Vasquez. Here comes Asante. And it's another corner for Indy 11. If you're Indy, are you changing anything right now, or are you satisfied with the way the game's gone?
I think you're satisfied, obviously, with the 1-0, but I think they can attack more. They can get more players forward instead of keeping both defensive mids in that position closer to their defenders. I think they could push up maybe Quinn or Lindley and get them more in the attacking half, and that'll push Asante up a little more and get maybe a front three with Asante, Guzatti, and Martinez.
Service on the corner. That was wayward. Brought in by Jerome. This is Lindley. I'll get a second bite of the apple. Only to see Quinn. This knocked away by Crawford. Header speared out of play here by Reese. You know, you talk about a front three that's helmed by Asante. If you get him a little bit higher, and all I can think about is all those years he was in Phoenix where they had a different number 9 every year. It's Adam John, I mean, you go right down the list. And whether it was Junior Fleming's on the other side, so you had this big stride kind of player on one side that really stretched, a little bit like Martinez, I suppose.
Yeah.
You've got this clinical number 9, and then you have Asante creating in those wide areas. And feel how Indy could make this really go if they manage to do that.
Yeah, if they could find Asante in those right places with his ability, what he can do on the ball, and the balls that he whips in, if he can get that confidence, get on the ball in the right spots, he can bring that to Indy and it'll bring their game up even more.
Well, he was confident enough to get into that tackle. Blake.
And even tackles like that can bring confidence. Little confidence there. Just needs to find, he's floating out there on the left, not looking for the ball. He needs to come in, get on the ball, and try to find Guzatti, making runs in behind. Or if Guzzatti's coming in, he can make the run in behind. Just need to get on that relationship right now, and I don't think they've found that yet. But you can tell Indy really wants to go down this right side with Martinez and being able to find him at the feet.
How much confidence do you gain from this tackle?
Yeah, this always feels good as a player, especially against a defender that you're going up against the whole game, and you're able to tackle him like that. That makes you feel good as a player.
You know, even talking to Mark Lowry a bit about Asante, there's an element of, he's 33 now too. He's entered the back 9 of his career, so he's in his absolute peak in Phoenix, and Phoenix is shattering all these records. To expect that kind of production was never really all that plausible. Here's Blake getting whacked.
Little sneaky kick there by Williams. But like we were saying, Asante in Phoenix had all that confidence, he was comfortable. He just had that swagger about him that he knew when he gets the ball, he's either going to get an assist or get some goals. When I was playing in the league in Reno, we didn't want him to have the ball. We didn't want him to anywhere near the ball. We were trying to get him on the bench, out of the field, anywhere, not even on the flight to Reno. But, I mean, he's a great player. He has the ability to do that if you can get him the ball in the right spots.
How often, if ever, could someone say, no, I'd rather Didier Drogba on the ball than Solomon Asante?
Very true. And I think at Reno, we would rather have that.
Yep. And to be fair, how often do you see another player have an inflatable crown placed on their head by Didier Drogba? Such the case for Asante in an MVP caliber run year after year with Phoenix Rising, now a couple of years here in Indy. This is Reese, 25-year-old Brazilian. Spent last year at RNYFC, the failed Jamie Vardy venture.
You can see right now he's getting on the ball, but there's no runs in behind. There's no trying to get the defenders to turn around, run at their own goal with somebody checking into those spots. They need to get those runs in behind to open up that midfield space for Asante.
Asante. Contemplative instead of Jerome. Martinez, Blake. Lindley, this is off the training ground. Blake. Well, that wasn't.
You can see what they're trying there, and unfortunately for Blake, doesn't hit the right ball. But he does have that ability to be able to whip in a ball. Played with him in San Diego, and some of those balls he whipped in were pretty amazing. But unfortunately there, wasn't able to find the back post run there.
That's an unnecessary foul. Crawford pushing down Reese.
I think the next 5-10 minutes are going to be huge for Indy to try to get that second goal, because we go into halftime 1-0 up. Charleston gets a little confident. They can squeak one in the late second half to tie up this game, get away with a point. But if you're Indy, if you get that goal, Charleston goes down 2-0, man down. That's a tough one to come back from.
Long in behind. That was a clever clearance of sorts. It's always clever when it works.
Yeah.
Send Dodson running off. You know, I was interested in Derek Dodson not being retained by Memphis because of how well he played there. He's at Hartford before that. Had sort of the exploding option that you'll see from some players where really you want to make it a difficult decision for the team whether or not you continue with the player, in part because that player wants the flexibility to move on if they want and maybe get that option declined. Such was the case. He's landed in Charleston with his former coach Ben Pierman and done outstanding things. Up by Wynn. Leap by Crawford. He's been aggressive in the final third. Yeah, that's a throw for Indy.
Not sure what Dodson's thinking there. A little overhit, but if he times that a little better, he'll be able to head that down on goal. But fortunate for Charleston, nothing comes out except for an Indy throw-in.
Well, with Dodson and Wynn, you can say the two wingbacks, they can play as wingbacks. Both have played as wingbacks. This occasion playing in a 4. But I mean, you're talking MLS tools between the two.
Yeah, and they play very well on the outsides and wingbacks, like you said. And for now, they're going to need to maybe not get as high as you want them to, but maybe later in the game, if it's still 1-0, maybe take a chance every once in a while and get one of them forward to be able to create something.
Good work by Barajas. Couldn't combine with Allen. And ahead for Martinez. Referee says play on after a pile up behind the play. And now they're going to stop it. out here trying to show the damage. And let's tell you that the Battery are back at Patriots Point Saturday, June 2nd. Well, that'd be today. They're back here again on the 7th, take on Detroit City. It's an old Ben Pierman derby. Tickets available now via SeatGeek, Battery's exclusive ticketing provider. Get your tickets now, save up to $10 per seat when you buy in advance. And to tickets.charlestonbattery.com tonight. Detroit City all of a sudden has found their groove a little bit. They had a brutal start. I always knew Trevor James would find a way to turn that thing.
And you know what changed that is a great 1-0 win at home in front of their crowd to build that confidence with the team. And look what Indy could happen here.
Absolutely.
That's what they need.
And to do it to San Antonio, for sure.
Yeah. And now Indy can do it to the first place team in Charleston. Asante
slows his roll. So deflect back, so Asante takes it on again.
To be honest, Wynn and Dotson have been unbelievable at blocking crosses and not letting the chances get into the box where it is dangerous. They are giving up corners, but they're getting there and getting to their spots and blocking a lot of crosses today.
Pay, Asante, lining up Dodson. That's Quinn. That's yet another corner.
Well, you can see there's 5 players behind the ball for Indy against Augie Williams. You only need to create that 2v1. More players can get forward for Indy, and when you play that long ball, there's more options for Asante or for Quinn to be able to find somebody in the middle of the park.
Indy scored the fastest goal all season, league-wide. Minute 28 into the game. Indy's still looking for their second, although another set piece goes by the wayside.
Minute 28 because they were arguing with the referee about the red card. Could have been even sooner.
By the way, Sergei Demyanchuk has given 4 reds in 8 games. That's most of any ref in the league. How about this hit? Blake saying it hit something. Referee doesn't agree.
Like the idea from Blake there. But when I played with him in San Diego and following him the last couple years, he's been hitting plenty of these goals from outside the box. He has the ability to do that, and unfortunate there, just didn't get over top.
That's AJ Patterson spinning around.
And you can see the confidence that Charleston does have to keep the ball with a man down and be able to play around. Now we just need to get the ball forward and get Williams on the ball and get him those chances in the box.
That's as deep as Chris Allen's been all game. Wheeled around here for win by Barajas. Sends early service, took a deflection off of Deespe. It'll be a corner for the Battery. And that was in the blink of an eye, end to end.
And that's what Charleston can do to you. Lull you to sleep with the balls passing in the back and then just finding that run in behind. Great touch by him because he might have a easy tap in the back post. But this is where you need Williams to be in front of that defender, be higher up the field.
Corner here for Charleston in the 45th minute. To the top of the box, Polvara pulled the trigger. That's Crawford. Well, to your point, if Indy goes in 1-0, Charleston goes, okay, we did in fact weather the storm. If Charleston finds an equalizer, I mean, they'll be floating into the locker room.
Yeah, and they had a great opportunity on that corner. Great play off the training ground. Good block by Indy. But if, yeah, like you said, if Charleston can get one, sneak one in here, get that confidence and going to halftime at 1-1, even 1-0. They weathered the storm, did their job. Coming into the second half is a different game.
Martinez. Asquinzadi making the central run. Really well defended. There were, what, 3 players between Martinez and Guinzadi?
Like my point I said, they're getting in those dangerous spots, but they have 4 to 5 players behind the ball that don't need to be there. There's not many options for Martinez to be able to take them on because, like you said, there's 4 or 5 Charleston players around the ball. And as a forward, you just want to keep them on one side. You don't want to press like he did there and be able to let them switch it. If you're going to go with the entire team, not by yourself.
That's offside. Stoppage time brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. Have a couple added minutes to go. By the way, at halftime, Indy 11 breaking ground on what's going to be as good a palatial experience as the championship has ever seen. 11 Park. Show you a little bit of the footage there, show you what the venue will hopefully look like, although I'm not sure it's ever going to look as good as a rendering that impressive. And it is Pride Night here in Charleston. Show you some of the sights and sounds here at Patriots Point.
Where were those stadiums 13, 14 years ago?
Well, there's some people around the league that I'm sure hope Indy get that thing built as soon as humanly possible. Although there is some charm to the mic.
Remember playing on that field in the NASL days.
The good times?
Yeah, with Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Declan Wynn. Still another 40 seconds to go here. We do have an answer to the fastest red card in league history, and somehow it was not tonight. There's some names that were involved in the game. Mark Briggs was one of them. Paul Nicholson got sent off in April of 2013 after 14 seconds. Officially, this is the 19th second of play that the red card was brandished. Kyle Gregg was in that game. I mean, some impressive names. Chris Cortez. Guys that stuck around. Rodrigo Lopez was in that game. Of course, Rodrigo Lopez is both everywhere and the same place all at once.
Had a nice little stint at Wilmington Hammerheads.
Well, thankfully not that night.
Yeah, not that night.
Halftime here. The last time there was a first-minute red card, or a red card earlier than this, Orange County beat Wilmington 4-0, up a man for just over 89 minutes and 46 seconds. It's 1-0 here at the half. Chance to contemplate here at the break?
Yeah, I think if you're Indy, you're going in at halftime happy you're up 1-0, but kind of frustrated that you haven't gotten on top of them, gotten that second goal to really put Charleston under the ground.
Well, still alive here, this Charleston side. This is as wild an opening as we've ever seen. The ghost of Paul Nicholson is reigning over Patriots Point. Take a look around the league. Some big news and a big month ahead. It's Indy 1, Charleston 0.
There's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me.
Fatigue, stress, aging, pain. What if there was a better way? Restore is the place where hyper wellness was born, where expert guidance leads to measurable progress that has you finally feeling your best. Restore. Do more.
This is no sleepy-headed, moving in reverse kind of state. We're home to barrier-breaking humans who took $7 billion and invested it in microchips, potato chips, nope, education. This investment, it builds jobs and more jobs where people create things like flying, not that. Who does all this? Forward-thinking pilgrims of change, like you. South Carolina. Now that's smart.
What a night in Charleston, South Carolina, one of those scenic spots in the United States.
Year over year, the improvements for this Charleston Battery team have been terrific. They've been winning games dramatically late. They've been winning them in convincing fashion.
They've really turned it around. The leaders of the East are the Charleston Battery.
We welcome you back. Charleston Battery taking on Indy 11 on this Friday night. One of two games in the championship. And Indy 11 score in the second minute of play, a first-minute red card. A lot to talk about, and that's all to come here at halftime. Joined by Corey Herzog, Mike Watts. Let's take a look at news and notes from around the USL Championship and beyond, including the Open Cup. Pittsburgh and Birmingham have some big matchups this week. These are special ones. To get to the quarters feels a little different, I assume.
Yeah, and it's huge for the USL to get to the quarters with two teams this year, with Pittsburgh and Birmingham. Hopefully, as I played for Pittsburgh a long time ago, happy for them and can't wait to watch that game.
Yeah, you're going to watch that with Dave Brandt?
Yeah.
He brought you in, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's before the Lily days. Alas. How about we show you the other two things in a little more detail here? Pride Month and the new Indy 11 Stadium. Here in the venue at Patriots Point, you can see all over the place the Proud to Be platform in honor of Pride Month kicking off yesterday in the USL. It comes along with a partnership with You Can Play. Meanwhile, you can take part in the night. Those are the warm-ups that were worn pregame. The corner flags around the venue with rainbow colors to help bring everybody together. As it was put so well, speaking to Ben Pierman, our number one pillar here is respect, and you can certainly see that in the venue tonight. You can get those Pride jerseys to benefit Charleston Pride by going online. You saw it was shopcharlestonbattery.com. Great to see around the league and activations all throughout the month. Meanwhile, Indy 11 has a new stadium on the way in 2025. They have put shovels in dirt. 11 Park. It's going to be right near the Lucas Oil Stadium, the oil drum, however you want to describe it. This stadium is awe-inspiring.
Yeah, and it's huge for Indy, huge for USL, and it looks like an unbelievable stadium to be able to go there as a fan, as a player. Look at that. I mean, you're not going to get any much better in the USL. And it's just going to make players want to go play there and want fans to fill up that stadium, and it's going to be an exciting time for Indy.
Yeah, that's a 20,000-seat venue. You know, Lucas Oil Stadium did host the first couple of years of Indy 11 soccer when they joined the championship from the NASL, but the idea that they would build that venue, it is a long time coming, and now they're ready to add to the skyline in the Circle City. 11 Park. Coming potentially now just 2 years down the line. Meanwhile, here at Patriots Point, this is right now. Indy ahead of Charleston at halftime. The goal from Aiden Quinn from the spot. Plenty more to come here at halftime on ESPN+.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Taxes man, left foot, and it's a first-time shot, and a goal! Luis Fernando! It's turned over. Babu Karjai to put it away! Phoenix Rising will take all 3 points, 3-1 Rising!
There's a brand new morning, rising clear and sweet and free. There's a new day dawning that belongs to you and me.
USL Championship action on this Friday evening. Indy 11-1, Charleston Battery nothing. Let's show you around the USL Championship's award voting from the past week. The eFootball Player of the Week, none other than Trey Muse. Dodson and Augie Williams both made Team of the Week as well. That was an important win for them against RGV.
Yeah, huge win from them and a huge confidence boost for all three of those players and the team in Charleston. Hopefully tonight that can bring a little confidence and get them back into this game at 1-1.
And meanwhile, who knows? Maybe Indy 11 will have a player or two on Team of the Week, depending how this all goes. Here's a look at the scoreboard. The tail end of Saturday into Wednesday's lone game. Tulsa, Monterey Bay playing to a thrilling 0-0 draw. Any other result catch your eye?
The Oakland-San Diego, you know that California rivalry right there. Oakland now has a step up on them. So big result for Oakland at home against a very good San Diego Loyal team.
And the Rowdies getting a good result against Colorado Springs before the Switchbacks take on the Roots, and Sacramento gets the Rowdies down in the Sunshine State.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game to watch. Sacramento playing well. Cicerone on fire, literally scoring almost every week now. But it'll be a good game between them, and then New Mexico, El Paso will be a very good rivalry game right there.
And Hartford, Louisville City. I mean, you know, it's a matchup that's won your heart.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this thing. We've got highlights and stats from the first half, and second half kickoff on the way. Quinn's spot kick, the difference at the break.
The estimated hold time is now 96 minutes.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Hey Google, turn up the heat.
Charleston is located in the low country of South Carolina.
The history here, it runs deep, and you can't imagine being anyplace else. This place is magical.
look at Patriots Point. It is Indy 1, Charleston 0 at halftime here on ESPN Plus with Corey Herzog, Mike Watts. Let's get you caught up on first half highlights. The old miss a minute, miss a lot kind of deal definitely applied tonight. Red card a minute into the game. Ball forward for Jerome. There's the tug from Archer into Guinzotti. Straight red.
Yeah, it's a harsh red card there early in the game. Like you said, could be double jeopardy with the red card and the PK, but Quinn finishes off like the veteran he is, puts Indy up 1-0.
That is a fantastic spot kick from Aiden Quinn. And Indy 11 off and running in a matter of a minute and a half. Fastest goal scored in the championship this year. Fastest red card in the league in a decade. Second fastest of all time. It's the best chance in the 45 minutes since.
Yeah, and it's an unbelievable save by Trey Muse. Douglas, unbelievable ball by Quinn. Great touch forward. If he finishes that, puts Charleston's head down 2-0.
So skip ahead into the dying minutes of the first half. This is really the first time Charleston was able to get into the final third and make them sweat.
Yeah, they were able to get in behind the defense. Unfortunately, Williams checked back for the ball. Wasn't in the box, but great touch by the defender there because it was an easy tap in the back post.
Let's take a look at the halftime statistics brought to you by Heineken. Just 6 total shots in this game so far. Lack of opportunity, perhaps.
Yeah, and if you're Indy 11, you want to come out in the second half with your foot on fire, attack Charleston, get that goal, second goal, and get their heads down and just defeat Charleston early if they can.
And if Indy's able to do that, they're going to have a tremendous win on their resume. This is as good a scalp as there is to get in the league right now. You know, this is a Charleston team atop the Eastern Conference, Corey, but in part it's a situation they've won on the last kick twice. There's still a feeling that Charleston is playing really, really good and that they do have greatness out in front of them. This was a potential banana peel game, all things considered, and then what happened in the first minute occurs. All of a sudden, you've got a real fight against a team with half your points.
Yeah, and it's good that Charleston got those late winners because later in the season, those points that maybe could have been a draw are going to add up, and they got it at the right time. To build confidence like that and late in games also help them get those 7 wins in the column. And right now, they need to really focus on coming together and trying to get a point out of this because if they can, that'll bring them even closer as a team.
Louisville's got a game in hand. Pittsburgh's going to have the Open Cup this coming week. The Rowdies will take on Sacramento. Louisville will take on Hartford tomorrow. That 4-point advantage, Battery can't get caught this week, but this could certainly tighten up in a hurry. All the while for Mark Lowry, can they just inch this forward? Suddenly you'll be off the bubble, and this could be the kind of win that changes your season. Trey Muse, beaten only by a penalty over the past couple of games, for that matter. There's the whistle. Here we go in the second half. Charleston got the first touch. And we'll see what the Battery have in store here in the second half to try and get back into it. Maybe secure what would be a priceless come-from-behind home win. That's Palma. 3-2-2 on home ground, Charleston, this year. They're actually unbeaten on the road, believe it or not. Outside of the reach of Guinzotti. Sent in by Dodson. Taken on by Polvara. We've established that Augie Williams' role in this game changed as soon as the red card happened. As far as the other 9 on the field, anyone you want to see more from to get this Charleston attacking gear?
Yeah, you want to see when they do have the ball. You want them to get maybe a little more aggressive when they play that long ball to support underneath Williams and try to get him on the ball a little bit more, but it's tough for them when they're down a man and Indy pressing like that.
Lindley. That may well be the trigger. Crawford chasing at Vasquez. Lindley saw the pressure of Allen and instead sends it all the way down to Muse.
And as a forward there, that's a good ball by Lindley, because as a forward, you need to see that he does have pressure coming, and that ball is perfectly weighted for him to hit it first time in behind. And Guzzotti just didn't see that, and maybe that's where they need to work on the relationship like we were talking about, but it's not a bad ball by Lindley. Guzzotti just needs to read that.
And there were elements of playing along to Guinzotti that existed in Tampa Bay, but not quite this often. So much of this was wide service with really good finishing inside the 18 and especially inside the 6 that Guinzotti made a lot of his money the last few years.
Yeah, and to be fair, Charleston has blocked those crosses that they've been trying to get into him with Wynn and Dotson on each side. So credit to Charleston on that point to be able to not let Guzzotti get into a comfortable spot where he likes to score goals.
Well, Indy was celebrating a free kick. The referee has thought better of it and changed directions. Be a fly on the wall. So after the changed call, Charleston across the halfway line. Well, there are a few venues in the league that I would rather go see a game at. Maybe jump on the Heineken bar here at the end and take it in here in Charleston.
Yeah, Charleston's a great place to go watch a game. I remember they beat us way back when I played for Wilmington in the USL Championship. I'm not going to say what year that was, but...
You do know it's actually written behind the goal, right? We can find this out.
It doesn't matter.
A former coach that you had, I'll get to it in a moment. Crawford could play Dotson, instead went for goal himself. Perhaps Williams making the run, banged off of Dispe. Beat Charleston corner here.
Yeah, and you like that from Crawford, but unfortunately I think he could play Williams in there and then get Augie Williams on the back post there, but you like the effort. Unfortunate for the block, but they do have a corner which could be dangerous.
Fans, out of your seats and on your feet.
Corner here for Polvara. No Archer, who's all of 6'4", but you still have Augie Williams and AJ Patterson with a lot of size. Polvara went for the near post. Martinez got ahead to it. Crawford pushed away by Blake. Has Polvara here. Send a recycle ball. That's a foul.
Veteran move by Quinn there, feels the hands in the back, goes up, just as soon as he feels the two hands, ducks down and takes the foul. As you can see, not much, but he knows what he's doing there.
There's a hint as to what year you were talking about that was in that last. I'm just saying.
I didn't see it.
One of your former coaches, I said, what makes Corey Herzog unique among any player you've ever coached before? And he goes, he's just the biggest 14-year-old I've ever met. Age is but a number for you, Corey.
Yeah, definitely. Still feel 14, act like I'm 14. Maybe gets you in trouble sometimes, but you got to live life and have fun.
I'm just saying, it doesn't matter what year that final was, because, you know, at heart, you're good.
Yeah, still the same age right now.
That's Williams with another foul committed here by Charleston. Angling him for Martinez. Got cut out. Williams steps in. Palma entered the game in the 10th minute. Crawford. Pressure from Quinn. Jerome. That header left a bit of work to be done. Charleston have taken over in the attacking half. This is Declan Wynn.
And you can see Charleston keeping the ball well in the back three, back four, what they're playing in. But you want to see the midfielders get into those pockets in between the lines where they can turn with the ball and find Williams on the run with the ball in behind, where they can be dangerous. Right now, it's kind of pointless possession, not really going anywhere, and you want to be able to find those midfielders or third men run just like this.
Allen. It's a rough ball for Dees Bay.
Yeah, I think it's going out for a corner. Not sure what he's thinking there. Maybe he touched the ball last, and obviously we didn't see it, but looks like it's going out for a corner.
Maybe that caught Allen's quad.
Could be.
Nevertheless, it's definitely a free kick now. You have to appreciate, Indy does not compromise what they do. They have such a defined game model.
Yeah, when you have the ball in there and Charleston's only going to press with 3 players and you have 5, you're going to love that every time. And Indy's just going to knock it around, find the spaces, chase you down. This is where Charleston needs to either press with everybody or sit back and wait for Indy to make that mistake. But right now they're playing in between and Indy's just bopping around them.
That was quite the game of cat and mouse. Finally, Crawford's been caught.
But the later this game goes 1-0, better for Charleston. Indy really need to find that second goal and really get Charleston down to the ground and not give them any belief to come back into this game.
It's a battery team that now have conceded 6 goals in the first quarter hour this season. That's most in the league. So it's not like they're unfamiliar with this. It's only the 3rd time Indy have led at halftime all season. 1-1, they lost 1. And now you got to think they need it. It's Palma, and all of a sudden Charleston's got a little bit of a depth problem at center back. If Palma, for whatever reason, isn't able to continue.
Yeah, you can see about 2 minutes ago when he passed the ball, he grabbed his left hamstring there, limping around. Not sure exactly what he did. But you can see in his face it does not feel good.
I mean, you do have AJ Cochran, so you go one more on the bench. The teams come into a game with 4 center backs on there in their 18.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, and luckily for them tonight, they're using all of them.
So this will be Nick Marcanic and Beto Avila coming in. Avila actually debuted against RGV on the road, 28 minutes in that game. He's on loan from Houston, where last year he tore up MLS Next Pro. That's Barajas coming off.
Next one? Okay. Just have you sit down in the technical
Looks like
area.
Dotson went from right back to right center back.
And yep, Palma's off.
Your attention fans, a battery substitution.
I've seen Dotson do a lot of things. I've not seen him do center back yet. We'll see if it's a thrilling rendition.
Number 69, Beto Avila. Coming out of the match for the battery, number 23, Juan Sebastian Palma. Also coming out of the match, number 11, Fidel Barajas.
Red 20 will be coming out. He's on your left forward.
So all of a sudden, that's now 3 changes for Charleston. They've burned 2 of their moments. So Ben Pierman can only go to the well once more and make 2 more subs. This is actually Marcanic's first appearance off the bench. They brought him in to be a winger, but Barajas, who, to be fair, Ben Pierman fully acknowledges he didn't really know his game all that well. So this is a nice run forward, and finally Reese got separated from the ball. All of a sudden, Barajas plays so well in his limited preseason after coming back from the CONCACAF Under-17s. So the under 20s, and Mechanic, they had to move him around a little bit. This is Avila getting tangled up. Change coming for Indy. That's Asante coming off. And Roberto Molina coming in. He debuted at home against Louisville last weekend, so he's a newcomer. Second round pick by the Colorado Rapids last year, and a senior national team player for El Salvador. Williams led astray a bit, 3 goals in 2 games against Indy last year. For the first 2 games he had played in his career against Indy 11. Play on with advantage. Avila fresh into the game. Circulates that wide. There's the cross. Williams high. And that was scintillating stuff from the Charleston battery.
It's an unbelievable chance for Augie, and I think he kind of gets caught up in the wrong step at the wrong time where he can't get his left foot because he's reaching with his right knee. And it looks like it goes off his right knee because it's just stretching. Unfortunate for him to not get it on target, and it would be 1-1. But great opportunity for Charleston right there.
And for Avila, who's making his home debut, that was a pretty scintillating start. So they gave Martinez a yellow card. They went back to that tackle at midfield. And it's a Spinks Convenience Store yellow card. Spinks Convenience Store is located across South Carolina.
And if you're Indy, you want to be smart with the ball, but not only with the ball, but with your head. You got a couple players on yellow cards. You don't want to pick up that second cheap yellow and even this game up, because Charleston are a dangerous team.
Back from Quinn, pressure from Avila. Given up by Odell. Better from Gonzati. Powered into Dodson. Dodson grabbing at his back. Gonzati wearing the Pride armband here on this second day of June. Part of the partnership with You Can Play. It's the Proud to Be armband. Last month, a number of captains around the league wore the 988 armband, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline number as part of Mental Health Awareness Month. This is good, up to Avila. Williams making the run. It's Avila galloping. Didn't get that away nearly fast enough. The 22-year-old Austin native will take over again as Reese commits the foul. And Reese's been booked.
And Avila's done well since he's coming in the game, but unfortunately, I think he's made the wrong decision there. I think on his second touch, he could play Augie into space and have Augie going one-on-one with the keeper. But unfortunately, he keeps dribbling with the ball, but when he's dribbling with the ball, he's not going towards the goal. You got to go straight towards the goal if you've already made that decision that you're keeping it. He could play him in right here, but he takes his touch a little wide, and then I don't know if he knows what he wants to do with the ball. But you're liking what you see from Charleston right now with being aggressive and creating those chances.
And then he drives in again and has Reese bowl him over. That is a yellow card brought to you by Spinks Convenience Stores located across South Carolina.
On your feet and make some noise for this battery-free kick.
Like we said before, another yellow card for Indy. A lot of players on the field with yellow cards. You don't want to pick up anything dumb.
Aiming for goal. Not to be for Nick Marcanic. He thought he had Odell cheating.
Not a bad idea, but it's got to be on target if you're going to do something like that. Looks like Odell was ready for it. And to be fair, you're going to have to do something pretty special to beat Odell from there.
Molina's probably going to get a little bit of discussion from Odell dipping out of the way of that. If you're the one-man wall, you can't be dipping.
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now, being Odell's roommate last year, if he sees that in the replay, he'll let him know.
Well, if he doesn't see it, I'm sure you'll alert him. That's not a way to make new friends when you've only been with the team for a couple of weeks.
Especially if that goes in.
So Charleston starting to throw some punches here in the second half. To your point, by the way, Vasquez, Reese, both defenders, Martinez, the attacking player, all on yellow cards one way. Wynn is on a yellow card, meanwhile, for Charleston. And, of course, the red card that changed the complexion of this game right off the bat. Leland Archer sent off officially 19 seconds in. That is 5 seconds slower than the league record, 14 seconds. That's a whistle from Marcanic. And the ensuing penalty slotted home by Aiden Quinn. Minute and a half into the game. Fastest goal in the league all season. About a minute 20 too late to be considered fastest in league history. Shot forward by Guinzotti. Reese. Lindley. Martinez. Laid off by Blake. Martinez approached the end line, brought it back. That's a throw.
Charleston's doing very well in the wide areas to being able, like we said, block crosses, good 1v1 defending, not letting them create those chances that maybe other teams or what Guinzotti wants to get the ball inside the 6.
A little extra effort there ensures this is a throw, not a corner. Bounced away from Martinez. Throw for Indy. Did you play against Memphis last year?
Yep.
Ask you about that in a minute.
Tied 1-1.
Reese hangs this up there. I was looking for Martinez. Marcanic, no. That blasted into the area for Guinzotti. Guinzotti dips underneath, and this time it's Patterson who caught the wrong end of it. And they're going to stop play. The injured player down at the top of the box, so Patterson's going to be attended to here. Argument from Ben Pierman that this constitutes persistent infringement.
I don't have the card ready. We'll get it next time.
So obviously you dealt with Memphis last year. Fiery, physical. It's the Ben Pierman coached way. They're that way in Detroit. They're that way in Memphis. Not a free blade of grass. This somehow snuck through. And Molina watches this bounce into the corner. Molina still chasing. He's committed a foul. So it's not really surprising that they've taken to their manager in how they close down crosses. Like, this is how it's always been for his teams, right?
Yeah, and playing against them last year was the exact same thing. You're going into tackles, you're going into 1v1s with not as much confidence because you know they're going to come through you. You know they're going to be working hard. They're going to be working harder maybe than you expect them to. And you can see it coming in on Charleston. They're top of the league. Why are they top of the league? Because of what he's brought to Charleston this year.
Like, I can't remember a Charleston team under Ben or a Memphis team under Ben being outworked.
Yeah, agreed with that. He just brings that mentality, and that's great mentality to bring. And once your players and your entire team match that intensity that he brings, this is what's going to happen. Top of the table, Charleston this year, looking down on the other teams.
really contrasting styles tonight on this Friday night in the championship. Reese, by the way, coming off and Robledo coming on. Reese was on that yellow card, picked up just a few moments prior. So it's Molina who's dropped in over this left side, sitting on top of Vasquez. No Dambrot, no Rebellon, no Budati tonight for Indy. It's not a full deck for Charleston, but it's close as it's been all year. Through here for Martinez. Runs arriving. Robledo lays this off. It's out of the reach of Blake. If he hits that on stride, he could have taken the bearings off the net. Instead, Indy pushed a ton of numbers forward. Charleston slowly walking forward.
And if you're in the 11, you want that chance back to be able to get up 2-0. And if you're Charleston, you don't want to, you want to keep going. You want to, I can't even get it out. Indy's not giving them the opportunity to put their heads down. They're giving Charleston confidence to get into this game and not finish their chances on their side.
Another look at the overarching chance.
You see the idea there, but maybe a one-time shot by him there is better than that pass to Blake, because that's going to be a tough strike for Blake coming in full speed and being able to weight that pass perfectly.
Well, Robledo was the third arriving player, Blake the fourth arriving player, and yet Martinez put in a decent spot, but maybe not the first target.
Yeah, he could have whipped that back post to the open man coming in late, but still a good ball by Martinez. I think they just need to do better with their chances. At least get a shot on target there.
Sort of the story of the Indy season. This is a pretty terrifying figure to stand over the ball on a set piece.
Yeah, two of them, Blake and Quinn.
Indy's put a lot of window dressing into some of these tonight. Will be Blake. That was a little more blunt, looking for the back post run. That is a penalty. It is inside the box. It's a tug from behind. And it is Indy's chance to get a second. Harrison Robledo brought down.
Yeah, you can see just a touch gets away from him. It's obvious foul, obvious penalty. And just Charleston not having the night that they want right here.
Your attention fans, a penalty kick has been awarded to the Indy 11 in the 71st minute.
Well, if you're Allen, your first touch lets you down, and you can see that point over to the sideline. Allen may not be long for this game. So Quinn took the first. He's going to take another here. As a striker, do you think about the last penalty you took?
Unfortunately, never had this happen to me, but I would always have my first penalty planned, never the second, so it'll be interesting to see what Quinn does here. But Quinn's going to step up with this with confidence. He knows what he can do, and hopefully Muse can keep him in the game, or this is Indy's opportunity to put 2-0 and get Charleston's head down.
Muse just picked up a yellow for dissent, brought to you by Spink's Convenience Stores, located around South Carolina. That's a couple too many pushes on the bar. If you leave early, if you're Muse, you could be sent off here, so have to get this right. Quinn scored in the second minute from the spot. He went left and high. See what he's got in store for his second take of the night. Aiden Quinn steps up. Aiden Quinn scores! And Aiden Quinn has his 48th championship goal. And Indy 11 lead the Eastern Conference #1, 2-0 on the road.
And that's what you want from your veteran player, Quinn, to step up not only once, but twice away from home when your team's not doing exactly where they want to be in the standings. Step up, finish that, and put your team up 2-0 against the #1 team in the Eastern Conference.
That's the penalty. Here's the take. He did switch sides.
Great PK, great confidence.
That yellow card brought to you by Spinks in the 71st minute.
He is now 21 for 24 in his career at the spot.
Not bad.
Not bad. Here are the two changes for Charleston. They had two remaining, and they're going to use them now. Allen comes off.
Chris Allen also coming out of the match for the battery, number 14.
And Dodson. We'll see Cochran's come into the game, so they've got another center back. And Joe Schmidt as well. It's Detroit at home in 5 days for Charleston as well. Tight little turnaround for a Detroit team that was on the mat a couple of weeks ago and all of a sudden looked totally rejuvenated.
And if you're Charleston right here, you don't want to get into your frustration. Get another yellow, get another red card, another player suspended for your game on Wednesday against Detroit, who are going to come down here and give you another run for your money here, just like Indy has.
Taken away by Molina. Jerome. Back from Quinn. Molina has Robledo behind him.
And if you're Indy 11, you have a comfortable lead right now. You want to work on the relationships that haven't maybe been clicking in the first couple games of the season. Build that confidence and get that confidence going into the next game.
Pushing into the final third, play on. Guenzati, the finish! Off the back post. Roberto Molina's first for Indy 11. And it's now 3-0 with a quarter hour to play.
And that's what you want to see out of Douglas Martinez. I said it in the first half, he was looking to cross early, took on his defender, bodied him, got into a dangerous spot, and whipped a great ball in. And Molina sitting at the back post with an empty net, easy finish that he's going to get for his first goal.
Indy 11 goals scored by number 21, Roberto Molina.
Great ball, great run, good finish. And you can see now Indy is now not building confidence, they're also having fun. Maybe they haven't had that in the last couple weeks, and that's what you want as a team, and that's what Mark Lowry wants to see now.
All the fun has arrived. Molina's fourth pro goal, his first for Indy 11, the third-year pro that started out with Las Vegas. And as a manager, this is the kind of night that they've been plotting towards for months. Perhaps there's a bit of early divine intervention, but I'm fairly confident they don't really care.
And these are the nights and these are the games that turn around a season. You'll see it after the game in the locker room with the guys, and now you're away from home, so you're going to go back to the hotel and just hang out with the guys, and you're going to have that fun. You're going to have that team camaraderie that you've been looking for the last couple weeks.
Angling away, floated cross for Avila or Williams. Picked up by Cochran. In Indy, one of the lowest scoring teams in the league coming in, and yes, they get 2 penalties. They had 8 goals in 11 games. They've got 3 tonight.
I'm gonna say this here, random thought. First time maybe I've seen 2 left-footed center backs for Charleston.
Yeah, Cochran coming in. Ever for Charleston, or just left-footed center backs are unicorns, huh?
Yeah, especially 2 of them. Wonder which way you should force them.
And that's why Cochran didn't come into the game earlier, huh?
Maybe.
Slotted Dodson in there for a minute. That's a foul from Dante Polvara. Martinez. That's now, by the way, 4 penalties from Sergei Demianchuk this year in 8 games. That is tied for 3rd most in the championship all season. Corner for Indy. Jack Blake. That's a dangerous looking ball. Skips over, Deespay lets it out.
Technique on that ball.
There's Aiden Quinn. He left Orange County to go to Phoenix because he was looking for a trophy. Perhaps ironically, Orange County ended up winning a trophy before he did, but was part of some really good years in Phoenix, and now on to Indy for this adventure in one of the most talented midfields in the league. Quinn. That should look familiar. Header is in off the post with a deflection en route. When it rains, it pours. This is one of the biggest defeats Charleston's going to taste all year. And just keep rowing that boat if you're Indy. It's finally arrived. An outburst, 4-0.
Not only the goals coming, but now your luck is changing. So this is a good effort by Blake. Little flick, unfortunate bounce, and just off the post there. But if you're Indy, you're feeling good. 4-0 right now, going into next week with a win. This is a good performance from not only all the players on Indy 11.
That doesn't look so much like rowing a boat as it is the erg, right?
Yeah, I don't know what boat goes that way horizontally. I think they need to work on that celebration. Not many celebrations before tonight, though.
No. They're just trying to figure it out. Crawford appeared to be the last one to touch it. It was off the head of Deespay. And with 10 minutes to go, Charleston 4-0 down. And you would think, unlike maybe the San Antonio game a few weeks ago, this isn't exactly a soul-searching occasion. I can break it down pretty easily as to when this game started to slip away. And once they failed to take advantage of the 1 or 2 chances they had, you had a feeling Indy could potentially paw it on. So we're going over 80 minutes now, reduced to 10 for Charleston. This is Martinez doing it all by his lonesome. Trots into the box. Turned away by Patterson.
I think he's ran half the field there and almost half the field back. Martinez looking for somebody to play to.
That almost landed right in your living room. All right, watch out. Here it comes.
I got to level my camera.
Good job by Chris. Protect the equipment.
Depends on which equipment you're talking about.
The through ball's taken away by Patterson. Yeah, I was talking about the camera.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. We'll bring play back here. What's crazy about Charleston, they now have a -2 goal difference on the year. First place, 7-3-3, and they've got a negative goal differential. They gave up 7 to San Antonio here on May 13th. They've given up 4 tonight.
It's like the Miami Heat in basketball. Had a negative point differential, and now they're in the finals.
Now they're in the finals.
So maybe it's a good thing for Charleston. Obviously not 4-0 tonight, but still in first place after tonight.
You know, I was talking to Ben Pierman about it during the week, that San Antonio game. They felt like defensively their structure got better. They reapplied themselves to the defensive element of the game after that 7-0 loss, but they also didn't want to panic, because you can delete it from your mentality and all of a sudden you've learned nothing from it, or you can focus on it constantly and lose the plot of everything else. It's a weird dynamic for a coach after a loss like that, and you would think tomorrow after a loss like this.
Yeah, you don't want to be too hard on a 7-0 loss, but you don't want it to happen again. So there's that medium where you need to find where the players understand, hey, that wasn't good enough. We need to forget about it, but you don't want to forget about it to where it happens again. You want to be able to know, oh, it's 1-0, it's 2-0. We need to keep it together, because if we get one goal in, it could be 2-1, 2-2 real quick instead of 4-0 like tonight. But that red card does change it in the 15th second.
Certainly did. Schmidt knocks it wide.
I don't even know if the ref had the whistle out of the pocket yet.
Schmidt sends that across and out of the reach of Odell. I promise the referee had no intention of using it that quick. Alas, here's the chance by Schmidt.
Good strike from Schmidt, just unfortunate not to get it on target. Augie Williams sitting there just in case it was for the tap in off the rebound.
13 and 42. I'll let you know when. 13 and 42. The 2 forwards. I'll let you know when, sir.
Strong step in, but it's Jerome back to Odell. Battery have a brand new look on and off the field this year thanks to Hummel, club's official jersey provider. Check out the full line of new Battery gear, including the custom 2023 primary, secondary, and that slick alternative kit. This hit it frame, Odell able to circle around and pull it in. And Charleston, with 5 minutes to go, as dangerous as they've been all night.
Yeah, Odell hasn't had to do much, so maybe caught him off guard with this strike here, but good strike. Should be a routine save. Almost slips in. I don't know what that feeling's like, but it can't feel that good.
No, a little helpless, but he is able to squeeze it just enough, and Polfara denied. Yeah, shop.charlestonbattery.com. That's what I was getting at. All that new merch. Here's Juan Tejada coming in off the bench.
At number 32,
3 changes. Remember these days? 3 changes in 3 windows?
Yeah, that wasn't too long ago, was it?
No. Alas, Indy's bench is...
Is the ref asking for a sub there?
Well, they've brought in Chavarria as well, so they will go 4 deep off the bench. This is as deep as they go.
No more opportunities either way.
And that's it sub-wise tonight. Shots are even, believe it or not, in this game. 4 shots on target, 4 goals. There's your story for Indy 11. 2 pens. It is a Crawford own goal in the 80th minute. It provided the 4th. This is enticing for Charleston. That's lashed away by Avila.
It's a good turn in the midfield, finding that spots in between the defenders, finding that pocket. Needs to get the shot on target, but it's a good turn. Good pressure by Charleston right there.
Patterson, yellow. Oh, Molina at full speed.
Jack did the same thing here. Don't ask for a red. They were both red. What I'm saying.
Your attention, fans, a yellow card has been issued to Charleston Battery player number 20, AJ Patterson.
I think Lowry might be right there with the red. Cleats high. It's just frustration. And if you're Charleston, you need to keep your head in this game. You don't need any more suspended for Detroit next week.
Spinks yellow card. It's brought to you by Spinks Convenience Stores, located across South Carolina. That is as fiery as Mark Lowry has been probably in the last 80 minutes.
And that's what you want as a player, to see your coach sticking up for you. It's a dangerous tackle. Could have ended horribly wrong if he wasn't able to jump out of it. And it's right in front of the bench, too.
Because it's that flying studs exposed into the shin that can be the most horrifying results.
Yeah, if his foot's planted there and he catches them at the right spot, that could be season ending right there. So fortunate for both. No injury. No red card, I guess, but could see it differently.
Well, this is a little tough to watch.
That's what we call a hospital ball.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up 100% about 5 yards before that.
Harrison, stay with Roby. Stay with Roby.
We're in the 90th minute now. And this might be one where the less stoppage time, the better, for everybody's benefit. I'm not sure the rules allow us to think with that level of common sense.
Yeah, I think every player out there is hoping for 1 minute.
We'll find out in about 20 seconds. Meanwhile, here a nice crowd on Friday night. They did not get what they anticipated. We said it at the beginning and a couple times throughout the night. Doesn't matter what your goal difference is. Doesn't matter that you lose tonight. You're still going to be in first place on Monday morning. That's a good slide by Schmidt. And turned away. You know, it's in these moments, as stoppage time brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
The referee has just indicated that
Schmidt's come in, made a bit of an impact. Certainly Avila when he first came into the game. Marcanic. Like, this is one of those, hey, prove it moments.
Yeah, you look at the scoreboard, it's 4-0, but the players that you brought onto the field have done well to be able to get them some time, get them some confidence. Obviously not the best confidence, but to make them feel good, come into the game, change the game a little bit as they did. It's good confidence for Charleston coming into Detroit on Wednesday.
And did you displace anybody? Maybe not. But did you put a seed in your manager's mind? Potentially.
100%.
Tejada. Probably didn't think he'd be paired up with Sebastian Guinzotti again quite so quickly. He was acquired midway through last season, Tejada. With his flowing locks and his spark plug-like impact off the bench. He's on it now. I mean, when he first came into the Rowdies, I mean, played like his hair was on fire.
Yeah, I like him as a player. Always running, always working hard. My type of forward right there, just defending, working your hard, and then that's where the goals are going to come. Players are going to see that and want to get you to score some goals when you work hard for them.
Molina circulates, and Indy watching each individual grain of sand go through the hourglass.
You can see Tejada right now making runs in behind with 2 minutes left. I don't even think Lindley picked up his head there, but love the effort. Love the runs in behind. I just like how he plays.
And don't look now, if you're Indy, you head home and get Hartford next Saturday. All of a sudden, you could find yourself going from 8th all the way into the top 4 in 2 weeks. If this goes right.
Yeah, this is a huge win, huge confidence boost for Indy, and now they get to get Hartford at home, go home with 3 points, and hopefully pick up 6 in 2 games.
Kicked away from Tejada. This will make them 3-2-1 in their last 6 games after starting 1-3-2 in their first 6. All of a sudden, yeah, Indy's alive and well.
And just like we said with Detroit earlier, just one game can change it, and this is the game that Indy needed and was begging for, and they got 4 goals tonight.
Like conversely, you can go win a game 1-0, you know, as Detroit and San Antonio can turn around and put the hurt on Charleston a week later. So, rather the week before, it's maybe the most parity-driven league we've ever had.
Yeah, a lot of good games and a lot of season left for each team. So no teams out, and you can see you can beat any team at any time, at any place.
Pressure arriving. So Charleston will fall for the 2nd time in less than a month by 4 more goals on home ground, which for all that's gone right for Charleston, they have more wins already this year than they had all of last year. They're a point off last year's point total. They've almost hardly ever put a foot wrong, but 2 games that they'd rather ignore. As this sent forward all the way down to Odell, and the final whistle arrives just 19 seconds into the game, a red card. A goal in the first 2 minutes from the spot, and Indy 11 go on the road, slay the #1 team in the Eastern Conference, and pick up their biggest win of the campaign, 4-0 at Patriots Point.
Hey fans, the Battery will be back at Patriots Point on Wednesday, June 7th, as they host the Detroit.
Well, Charleston, from the very beginning, struggling to get anything going, and Indy 11 come here and take the Battery to the woodshed, a rarity. Final score brought to you by Wicked Weed. Full-time highlights coming up after these messages.
Think big. Something life-changing. I'm talking education. Let's get inventive. Blow things up in a good way. Do it for 20 years? Wake up and education has received billions in funding. Who does all this? If you've ever played one of these or these, that would be you. Yeah, thank you.
Charleston is located in the low country of South Carolina.
The history here, it runs deep, and you can't imagine being anyplace else. This place is magical.
What a night in Charleston, South Carolina, one of those scenic spots in the United States.
Year over year, the improvements for this Charleston Battery team have been terrific. They've been winning games dramatically late. They've been winning them in convincing fashion.
They've really turned it around. The leaders of the East are the Charleston Battery.
We welcome you back to our post-game coverage. And that scoreline brought to you by Wicked Weed Brewing. Indy 4, Charleston nothing. Don't adjust the TV set. There's some extenuating circumstances, but at the end of it, Indy moves up to 6th and Charleston hang on to 1st. Full-time highlights are brought to you by Bud Light. And here's the thing that changed the whole game. Archer pulls down Guenzati.
think it's a little tough in the first minute of the game, but Quinn, as the veteran he is, steps up, finishes it, and puts Indy on the board early.
Earliest goal of the entire campaign, league-wide. Ahead to the 59th minute of play. If Charleston gets a goal here, we're having a totally different conversation.
Yeah, if they can pull this to 1-1 and get into the game and finally get that goal that they needed to bring confidence in, it'll be a total different game, like you said.
So skip ahead to the 70th minute, and this is where it all breaks down. That is a foul from Allen after the ball got away from him. Quinn again.
Yeah, if you're going to give Quinn 2 PKs in the same spot, he's going to finish both of them, and you're looking at a 2-0 scoreline.
Yeah, he's a 90% free throw shooter, so to speak. Skip ahead a couple minutes. Roberto Molina would get his first goal with Indy 11.
And it's a good cross by Martinez, good finish, easiest finish he's going to have this year.
And 5 minutes after that, Robbie Crawford would be tagged with an own goal on this effort.
When it's your night, and that's what Indy had, and that's what Indy needed, and it's a good win, good 3 points for Indy on the road.
And they are urging their way up the standings. Here's a look at the full-time match stats, and Chance Corey, for your final thoughts.
Yeah, it's a good win for Indy, but you have to look at it. You only had 7 shots, 4 on target with 4 goals, so you did your job with scoring the 4 goals, and hopefully you bring it back home to Hartford next week.
All right, so Indy indeed will see Hartford next Saturday. For Charleston, they are right back on the horse here on the 7th. They will host Detroit. Get tickets, charlestonbattery.com. Final score brought to you by Wicked Weed. And this was a wicked night for Charleston. As the clouds passed, it turns out the downpour had only just begun. For Corey Herzog, our entire team in Charleston and beyond, Mike Watts saying thanks for watching as Indy wins it 4-0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.